Hey everybody, Ryan here. 17 days to go. I am so thankful to God for introducing me to a little girl named Prudence. It was my second trip to Zimbabwe when I met Prudence. She was only 3 years old. Imagine this scene. It was one of the first villages I had ever visited. One of the rural villages, just what you think about when you think about National Geographic. With the huts and the cows and everything. Prudence was sitting under a tree playing with bottle caps. We were there visiting her mother, who was dying of AIDS. She had stage 4, so she was incredibly sick, and she was sitting under this tree watching her mother from afar. And I was really uncomfortable. This was early on. I'd never really done this before, but I was so grateful to be with two friends, Dale and Trevor, and Dale, who had lived there with his family for a long time, just boldly went over and just sat down with Prudence and started playing with her and moving bottle caps around. And the thing we learned about Prudence is as she watched her mother about 20 yards away dying, we learned that Prudence couldn't walk, and she was having speech development issues just because of malnourishment and AIDS. That she was born with HIV and now had full-blown AIDS at just a tender age of 3. Prudence, as she sat there and played bottle caps with Dale and then me and then Trevor, just kept looking up with her eyes, just looking at us, just helpless, really. And as I said earlier in this series, her mother passed away the very next day, and I remember going back and visiting that next day and seeing this girl again and looking at her eyes and just knowing when I looked at her that someone needed to be a champion. No mom, no dad. She had a brother named Peterson. They were living by themselves. And that was it. But she had a family of believers there in a church that was willing to help her, but needed some support, needed some assistance, needed some extra encouragement, a little money. But they were willing to do the hard part and take care of her and check up on her and make sure she's getting her medicine and helping make sure she's getting to and from a training program for school and speech. And Prudence didn't make it more than 18 months before she passed away, but by the time she had passed away, she, because of this ministry and partnership with Forgotten Voices, her church was able to make sure that she got some speech therapy and some physical therapy, and she was walking and talking, and her job was to chase away the monkeys and so the crops wouldn't be ruined. But just to see the eyes in that hour of confusion and pain at 3, watching her mother die, to getting to know her over those 18 months and seeing hope and courage in the midst of a very difficult circumstance. Prudence was the first child that I loved in Zimbabwe. And even though she's gone, I continue to love her and pray for her and pray for her brother who's still living. Prudence was the first kid I met that I truly loved in Zimbabwe, and not a day goes by that I don't remember that she is one of the main reasons why I do what I do and why I'm grateful to you for helping me and our team take care of kids that need a champion, the Forgotten Voices of Southern Africa.